there's an old saying in cricket that if runs are, the best currency a batsman can have, if that's the case, then Indian batsman Prithvi Shaw is probably laughing his way to the bank, because he's ended up scoring a mammoth 379 runs off 383 balls in a Ranji Trophy game against, of course, Assam. Now, many people feel, and with some justification, that Prithvi Shaw should be one of those players who needs to be an all-format player for India, or at least be considered for certain formats, because quite frankly, he's too talented a player to ignore. Now, that obviously, there's the added caveat that Shaw has had a litany of off-field issues when it comes to behavioral undiscipline, and, that has unfortunately hindered his career somewhat. But after his knock, we got to hear from the man himself. He gave an interview to news agency PTI, or Press Trust of India, and let's just say he had some very, very interesting things to say about his recent form, and what his critics actually had to say about him. Let's in fact address that latter part first and foremost. Let's look at what exactly it is that he had to say about his critics. He said, in fact, let's talk about that. He says, sometimes you get frustrated. You are doing your things right, you're honest with yourself, you're disciplined with your career, but sometimes people talk differently. People who don't even know you judge you. Now, obviously, that is a massive thing for Prithvi Shaw to say, and it is quite apparent that he feels hurt and let down by a lot of people within the Indian cricket system who he feels weren't there for him when he was going through his lowest, and now that he's finally seemingly climbing out of that hole, that he doesn't really matter to him if they are there for him or not, because he said that people who don't even know you judge you. It's a very powerful thing to say, because it does seem like he feels that he's become the victim of some sort of a conspiracy to keep him out of the team, or better yet, he's actually fallen victim to what he feels is about perceptions. And truth be told, we note for a fact that in Indian cricket, perceptions, or how you are perceived by not just the public but even those in power, does matter a lot. Now, that's at least how Prithvi feels about this entire thing, and in fact he went one step further as well. He said that people who are not with me when I am not doing well, I don't really care about them. I just like to ignore them. That's the best policy. Now, of course, it is good for him that he's saying this, and it does show that he has adopted something of a healthier attitude when it comes to criticism. But the simple fact of the matter is, it is pretty clear that he is bothered by criticism of him, even if in some cases that criticism is very, very legitimate. Look, no one is doubting the talent that Prithvi Shaw has. No one is doubting his ability. What is in doubt, however, are his disciplinary issues and his off-the-field issues, a lot of which actually, we've discussed in some detail on our shows. And so certain things which unfortunately are, they do the rounds in the rumor mill, let's say. And even if those stories are even half true, they don't make for very good hearing. And that's the real problem when it comes to a talent like Prithvi Shaw. You note for a fact he's talented, a very aggressive batsman, scores runs for fun. He's been earmarked as a star for years on end. But the simple fact of the matter is that a lot of his problems have come down to him. And truth be told, at least he is adopting a healthier approach now when he says that, look, I don't care what people have to say about me. I am just focused on me. In fact, this approach extends to when he was asked about, do you think an India call is coming, and do you think you should be given a chance now? And, he said very simply, he said, look, I am not thinking about if someone is going to call me in the Indian team. I am just trying to do my things right, which I can, and not to think too far ahead. I am a person who loves to live one day at a time. Now, that is exactly what Prithvi Shaw said. He's saying, look, I'm not really focused on getting a recall right away. My belief is that I will keep doing my processes. I'll stick to what it is that I've been doing, and that hopefully I'll get noticed. And my focus right now is only to live in the moment. In fact, he even said in this interview that, look, I'm only really focused on playing for Mumbai right now and winning the Ranji Trophy. That is my biggest aim. Whatever it is that may come afterwards is something that we'll see about later on. Right now, I'm only focused on doing well for Mumbai, scoring plenty of runs for, scoring plenty of runs for Mumbai. That is my main focus as things stand. So obviously he's saying this, but quite frankly, it's impossible to believe that he doesn't have a recall to the Indian team on his mind. Don't forget, Shaw was involved with the team as recently as 2021. So it's not as if he's someone who's a forgotten man. In fact, he ensures that it's impossible to forget about him because he has been scoring a good amount of runs. But the obvious issue when it comes to Shaw is that there have been disciplinary issues. The hope from all of us as well-wishers of Indian cricket is that he can overcome said issues and perhaps focus on being the best player that he can be, because among whatever issues he may have faced off the field, there still remains a very talented cricketer there, and he's proving that time and time again. He's been scoring truckloads of runs for Mumbai even in the previous season. He's done well in the start of this season as well. So you would hope that he would continue to put in the work, not just on his cricket but on his off-field issues as well. And sooner rather than later, we will have what it is that most people expected would happen, and that is have Prithvi Shaw as being a part of the Indian team, perhaps even across all formats. However, that's just how I feel about things. What do you guys think? Well, you can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you know when it is we're going live or uploading a new video for you guys. Then you can also go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and last but not least, don't forget to download the SportsTech app. Thank you all once again for joining us. Bye bye for now.